Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
We are a nation in decline.
Experts are preparing for what is known as Disease X, or the next pandemic.
What we are seeing is a revolution against the system.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rise and Grind with VinceTagliavia, a show where we go over the news and events every morning at Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you all for tuning in. Today's Friday, February 23rd, 2024. And that means that we get to loosen up and get into the weekend a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that. Finally have some sun over here. So I'm definitely going to try to fit in a little bit of extracurricular activities, maybe go for a bike ride, a long walk, or whatever. And tomorrow I'll definitely be in the garden. So, with the news cycle, it gets tiring. Let's be honest. But the news junkies out there, I hope you are taking time for yourself and not just focusing on all this crazy news unfolding. It's okay to unplug once in a while, leave your phone inside and just take care of yourself and focus on other things. And that's definitely what I'm going to try to do today. However, I will be in the studio as soon as I can to make more videos and content this weekend. So stay tuned and hit the notifications for all that. I certainly look forward to it. Thank you for joining this morning, Kai1111. Good morning to you. Thank you, everybody over there on DLive who tunes in. Princess Lee 8, especially. I want to give a special thanks to Lisa for being a top contributor and supporter of my show on DLive, as well as RPG and Army Mom. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. It helps me tremendously with keeping the ball rolling. I don't know, a lot of you may not know this, but I do these shows and I also work. I build houses and other jobs as well. So I'm very, very busy. So when I get this support for what is essentially just a hobby, it really warms my heart. So thank you guys so much. And also to all the people on Pilled. Alex donated this morning, says, "Evening, Vince and family." Thank you so much, Alex. I really appreciate that. And Quiet Tote, I see you over there. Good morning to you. So thank you all so much. And good morning. Jesus is my one savior. You always have things that are nice to say in the comments, and I appreciate you as well. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Hope you're doing good. I want to start with something positive. And this, to me, this is something that for me, it's very inspiring and heartwarming, and I hope it is for you too. Trump posted this epic and inspirational video on Truth yesterday, and I posted it on X, and a lot of people didn't see it. It did not get a lot of attention, but that's okay. We're gonna play it live here, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And let me know if you think that if it's a very good one or what. Originally, this was created by Il Donaldo Trumpo. Il Donaldo. And his website is ildonaldo.com and at ildonaldo Trumpo on X. Very, very popular account who shares these things. So this is what he posted. Let's watch, and then we'll carry on with the news of the day and a review of the week as well. So stay tuned for that. Let's see here. Onward.
Remember that nothing worth doing is ever easy. You'll have bad moments, and you gotta love what you're doing. And if you don't, just do something else. Keep standing up always for your values. Keep loving your country. And one of the most important things, never, ever quit. Never quit. then ask yourself, what imprint will you leave in the sands of history? What will future Americans say we did in our brief time right here on Earth?
You know,
Did we take risks? Did we dare to defy expectations? Did we challenge accepted wisdom and take on established systems? In my short time in Washington, I've seen firsthand how the system is broken. A small group of failed voices who think they know everything and understand everyone want to tell everybody else how to live and what to do and how to think. But you aren't going to let other people tell you what you believe, especially when you know that you're right. I know that each of you will be a warrior for the truth. Will be a warrior for our country and for your family. I know that each of you will do what is right, not what is the easy way, and that you will be true to yourself and your country and your beliefs. Remember this, nothing worth doing ever came easy. Following your convictions means you must be willing to face criticism from those who lack courage or the guts or the stamina to take it and to do it. It's called the road less traveled.
there we have it. Trump's "The Road Less Traveled" speech. Man, that gets me, man. That is so inspirational. Nothing worth doing is ever easy. You'll have bad moments. You've got to love what you're doing, and if you don't, just do something else. Just a very inspirational, positive message there from Donald Trump. I mean, I don't know who can deny that's a really great positive message, and I don't see a lot of that stuff coming from much anybody else. So I think it's something very notable. Thank you, Christy. I appreciate you. Thank you, Jesus, my own Savior. Thank you all. Thank you all. Okay, let's get on with some news here. Good morning, Chris Large. Good to see you. All right, let's see what we've got. Some of the notable stuff from throughout the week. Let's start there, and then we'll carry on to some of the more recent news from today. We had a few notable things happen, many notable things, but we're going to just cover a few of those here. We had Google suspend Gemini AI image tool after backlash. They disabled some of its features, and they're working on an update. Elon Musk hints at starting a search engine, and X Mail, an email service to compete with Google Mail. And he also tweeted out that Twitter messaging is better than email. So maybe he's just going to just consider Twitter to be an email. Also, something notable, Elon Musk said that he's going to be converting completely over to only communicating through X.com and getting rid of his cell phone. And I think that is going to be in an effort to update X.com and encourage other people to do the same thing in kind of a competitional approach to all these cell phone companies is kind of what I'm seeing develop. So we'll keep our eye on that. He's indicated this on X.com. We also had the truckers, many truckers vowing to stop delivering to New York City and boycotting that work in protest of Trump's $355 million fee, or fine rather. And that is still an ongoing thing. Many truckers are sticking to that sentiment And I think this is something that's going to be developing over weeks. People ask me today about it, and I think it's it isn't something that's going to be like we're going to see the effect like that. I think that it's going to slowly develop into further protests and whatnot, and that is a slow change. And that's kind of like everything in the news cycle. A lot of this stuff is very slow developing, and a lot of times I feel like we may be a little bit ahead of things. For whatever reason, I know with me, I feel like things are just going to be bam, 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 but it's actually a very slow progression on how things unfold. So I think that'll be the same with the truckers, but a huge story nonetheless with a lot of steam behind it. And we'll keep updates on that as we get them. If anybody's in New York and goes to the market, take some pictures and let us know how the supply chain's doing and all that. I saw some alleged pictures of shelves becoming empty, but I was skeptical, just as we should be with any information on the internet. And I reached out and to see if anybody else had any more information, and I couldn't find anything else but that one post. So I don't know if this is having a large notable effect by an everyday consumer, or if it's more of an effect that is taking a little longer, or if maybe the slack's being picked up, or who knows? What do you guys think about that? I'm curious to know. We also have people noting the trend that's showing law enforcement listing Black and Hispanic criminals as white. And I guess when criminals go to jail, you fill out forms or whatever, and they ask you that, but everybody puts white down there. And I guess that would affect the data at the end of the day, crime data, right? It's an interesting phenomenon that is being noted. Matt Gaetz has called for a vote on legislation to ban members of Congress from trading stocks. That's a great one. How do we have all these Congress members that make X amount, far less than what should be reasonable to be multimillionaires? Well, actually, they make enough to be millionaires. Let's face it, they do. But they are they're millionaires to the point of like tens of millions of dollars in a lot of cases, like Nancy Pelosi. And so it is interesting, I mean, that they're able to trade stocks and options and profit when they may have some insider information, of course. And so that's great on Matt Gaetz. We also have Remington, the nation's oldest gun manufacturer, leaving New York. And that's a big part of the New York story as well. It's not just Remington. Grant Cardin also announced that he is encouraging all of his people do not invest in New York because it doesn't seem like a good investment. So he's moving out of New York too, billions of dollars. So companies are also getting out of New York kind of at the same time. These truckers are saying not happening. So, and this is after last year, New York was the number one state that people were leaving. And I think that is a big story, and it is something that takes time to develop, and we're going to see more data as this year goes on. But I think that's going to continue. And onward here, we have New York City Council calling for an investigation of the mayor's plan to give illegals $10,000 debit cards. Yeah, that's right. He wanted to give them $10,000 debit cards. It's just a crazy proposal. So they're looking into that. My goodness. And this news I just started coming across yesterday. I have not reported on it. The Red Cross is now requiring blood donors to disclose whether they are COVID vaccinated. People are asking why. I also saw this other things on that, but we're going to move on here forward. And that is kind of just a little recap of some of the little things over the week. And we'll move on here in a second. Let me just check the chat. What's going on here? Thank you, Lisa, for the 5 ice cream donation. I appreciate that. All right, let's see what else we have. Let's get a quick little AT&T update. We had those outages yesterday, and massive outages. I think they said like 75,000 reported outages from AT&T alone, and we saw similar outages around with other companies, cellular companies, X, Google, or was Google involved? I don't remember, but many companies on Down Detector experienced an outage at the same time. Initial reports were that it was from a solar flare, and it was reported on mainstream news outlets as such. It was also being reported that it could be a potential cyber attack. It was also reported that the FBI was investigating a potential cyber attack as it relates to AT&T specifically. It all ended up shaking out. AT&T posted an update. They said it was caused, the outage was caused by the application and execution of an incorrect process used as we were expanding our network, not a cyber attack. They say that they are continuing their assessment to ensure they keep delivering the service that their customers deserve. So that was the end of it. That was it. Very interesting unfolding of events there. By the way, I tried to make a call this morning, and I don't have AT&T even, but I made a call and then it said my service was unavailable, and then I got a call back right away, and I just thought that was very strange. Maybe is there still some kind of interference going on or what? I was just confused. I was like, why is it telling me that? Very odd. So maybe we're still having issues. I'm not sure. Keep our eye on the issue. That's a promise. Okay, let's talk a little bit about finance. It's Friday. The markets will be done for the weekend soon enough. And we are seeing green today as things kind of cool off from the NVIDIA earnings bump. It's kind of losing steam here. Gold is approaching $2,050 again. NVIDIA has hit $2 trillion valuation among this frenzy, a huge milestone there. $2 trillion. Whoa, huge company. I mean, unbelievably huge. And this is because they support AI technology, and a lot of companies are in the process of implementing this into every aspect of their businesses as well. So NVIDIA is going to be a supporting infrastructure for a lot of businesses. I even have, I wouldn't be, you wouldn't see me here right now if it weren't for NVIDIA in my computer here. So, I mean, it's big. Anyway, let's take a look at silver. Is silver still on sale? I bet it is. Silver, $22.92. Let's take a quick look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at $50,919.72. Wow. Just maintaining that above $50,000 mark still pretty phenomenal. Yes. Please hit the like button, everybody, and also subscribe. I appreciate that. Thank you, Kai, for the reminder. I sometimes forget these things. All right. Let's see here. Onward. Let's see. Americans are paying on average $605 each month for groceries, compared with the same time 2 years ago, and $1,019 more compared to 3 years ago, per the New York Post. Just some inflationary news there. And it saddens me to see these videos. So we go from high to low. This is a little depressing and a little heavy. I see a lot of these videos on the internet, and it's of young adults posting about their financial situations. And, yes, it's tough out there. I'm sure a lot of you struggle, and I'm not saying I don't or anything like that. I definitely work my ass off in order to get by. But even in the hardest times, we have to stay strong. Just like that video we watched, never give up. Nothing worth doing is ever worth it. And it's going to be tough here. We just have to accept that fact and get to the grinding stone. And it's messed up, but no matter what, we have a lot of work to do in order to bring our communities, our countries, and ourselves into a better place in this world. We do not need to be victims of any circumstance, right? We should be striving for the best. And I think that's possible to do well, even in a day like today. Let's listen to what this young lady has to say.
Does anyone else just work their ass off for like the last 3 or 4 years for like a college degree, and now you have a job that you hate and you still can't afford life and you're still fucking miserable and you can't pay any of your bills and you can't live in the house that you imagine, and you just feel lied to because you thought that if you just went to college and got a degree you'd be able to afford a house and like things that make you happy, but yet you're still barely can afford groceries or clothes or literally anything that makes you happy at all, and you had to spend the whole entire weekend in your bed because you literally don't have any money to go do anything other, like if you buy food you just can't have an entertainment budget. So I'm just wondering if anyone else is dealing with something like this, or if it's just me, because this shit ain't it. Does anyone?
Yeah. A lot of my recreation isn't expensive. And the things that do cost, my recreational things that cost money, it would be like, I guess podcasting would be one thing. Gardening can get a little pricey at times. But most of the stuff I do it doesn't cost anything or much at all. If I go fishing, I have all my tackle. I know where I can find bait and I don't have to buy it. Right? Gosh, what do they want? They want like $15 for a few like sand shrimp at the bait shop, and I could go find my own sand shrimp for free. I mean, there's a lot of ways to get around this stuff. It doesn't cost me anything except the cost of a bike to go for a bike ride. Maybe I sound like a rich kid or something. I hope I don't. But there's fun things to do that don't cost money out there, and that you could adjust. Be creative. Don't be a victim and don't get down like this. I mean, I would tell this young lady, like, if you hate what you do, don't do that thing. Do your best to find something that you might enjoy a little better. And there's also something else to note here. Sometimes life sucks. I think an expectation to be happy all the time is unrealistic. Although there are ways to improve happiness. I think that the expectation to be happy all the time is unrealistic, So, I mean, it's really a bummer that some people hate their careers and jobs and don't make enough money to even do anything. I mean, it's like you work a long day, you get home, you do your chores, you got to go to bed and rinse and repeat. And it's a very unfortunate situation that a lot of people are finding themselves in now. And I see the videos being posted. Kai says, I'm disabled, so I'm currently fiddling with several hobbies. Awesome. Chris Large says, if you go and get a worthless degree that costs tens of thousands, if you go and get a worthless degree that costs you tens of thousands, then blame yourself. Yeah, you've got to, I agree. I mean, people need to take responsibility for what they've done. Unfortunately, I think that it was kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation for a lot of them. There's no easy path, right? There's no easy path. Things aren't easy. And it makes me sad when people break down like that and get so stressed. But I mean, we got to just keep pushing. And sometimes it sucks. And that's when you need to really get the gumption and push the most. Ain't that the truth? Onward. Let's see what else we got. Vice Media announces an end to publishing on Vice. That's right. They're not doing so hot over there on Vice Media. So that is official. An interesting thing there. Onward. We have Javier Milei. He apparently has balanced a massive 12-year budget deficit in just 9 weeks. Peter Estange writes, he has shown, he says that, quote, by doing this, he is, quote, showing spineless Washington Republicans how it's done. And he does a salute smiley. Malay's clearing the way up to ending Argentina's hyperinflation nightmare with decades-long stagnation, despite bitter resistance from the socialist union-run opposition. If he succeeds, he'll be a role model for radically slashing government, not just in Latin America, but the entire world, including, dare we dream, the alleged small government champions in Washington. A really, really massive success from Javier Milei in Argentina there. He was recently elected and has taken a stance for sure. And that is pretty remarkable. Onward here. We've got China promising payback for UK sanctions. RT.com reports this story. These sanctions aren't very effective. RT.com writes the latest British restrictions on Chinese firms have no basis in international law, Beijing has said. So on Thursday, Britain announced more curbs designed to hurt Moscow. And they're getting some pushback. China is not happy, but it seems that they have their own plan. And largely, here's the plan. It's BRICS nations doing business with BRICS nations outside of the US dollar and excluding the West. That's kind of where things are heading. And I want to jump here. I'm just remembering something in my notes, and it's from General Michael Flynn. Please stand by as I go pull this, because I want to grab it out of order here. I had it later. Let me see. Bear with me here. Here it is. Where General Flynn this is kind of a relevant segue here. He responded to a video here of Tucker Carlson, and here it is. It says here, Sarah Stevens posted it, and it says, Brett Weinstein, quote, "I'm sad to report that the West has actually collapsed. A powerful set of forces, the elite, globalists who control 80% of the world's money, have decided that consent of the governed is too dangerous to tolerate, and it has begun to unhook it." Unquote. General Mike Flynn tweeted, "I hope he's wrong. But if he's right, we all have a lot of soul searching to do." And to some extent, that is right. I mean, it seems that could be the case, at least to me. And it is concerning. But I mean, this is just where we find ourselves, and we just keep on going forward. I mean, what else could we do? Hey, Forrest, morning grinders with your coffee. Thank you so much. I like that, grinders. Thank you, Forrest. It's very creative. I appreciate that. Grinders. I really like that. All right. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, yeah. We mentioned, or I mentioned Google's Gemini AI being updated, rather. So it's missing some features. But apparently it now has access to Reddit in order to gather information and do the things that AI does. I don't think that's a great source, or at least being a main source for an AI. So we'll see how this AI turns out. I'm curious to see the development, and it's just something notable there. I mean, an interesting part of the puzzle. Onward here. So we have an update here from Trump's court dealings. Apparently, according to FOIA fan on X.com, Trump has filed a couple additional motives via email to the court, directed at the conduct of the investigation and prosecutors, meaning we don't get to see them yet. And here it is, the public notice of President Trump's pretrial motions. So a very interesting thing. Kevin Baker on X says this is a fairly substantive stuff. This fairly substantive stuff here for a random Thursday evening filing, and that was yesterday midday. So I don't know when that's going to become available. That's something I was trying to figure out. I don't know, but the witch hunt continues and the fight back continues as well. Just wow. Mike Lindell was ordered to pay the money if somebody proved that election fraud didn't happen. He's been ordered to pay the money, and he's revealed that he only has $10,000 to his name. How does Mike Lindell, the pillow guy, only have $10,000 to his name? Is this a real story? Newsweek. Mike Lindell reveals he has only $10,000 to his name. MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell, a Donald Trump ally without evidence, has said widespread voter fraud put Joe Biden in the White House in 2020. Said he has $10,000 left after a U.S. court on Wednesday upheld a $5 million ruling against him. Oh my goodness. But I mean, I hate to say it, but Mike Lindell said that he had a bunch of information and then he never actually had something. It was basically a bunch of not compelling data that he had. That's at least how I understand the situation there. I feel for him. I don't, I feel indifferent about the guy. I like him like as a meme, and his brand I think is fantastic. And I think he has a good heart. But that's the situation here. What do you guys think about that? Wow, $5 million he lost. Has he paid this? Yeah, he offered $5 million to anyone who could prove his data did not come from the election. He says, we're not able to pay. I can't borrow money to pay these attorneys. My pillow can't pay because of what happened with lost sales. He says he has $10,000 to his name. Dang. So I wonder what's going to happen with this. What a bummer, man. Good morning, Army Mom. No worries. Mike needs coffee, Black Jester says. Black Jester, thank you for the donation on DLive, and thank you, Forrest, as well, for the donation on DLive. Appreciate it. All right, let's see what else we got. We've got some information from the Willis testimony. Oh my gosh. On the affair with Trump prosecutor Nathan Wade. Fanny. So Chuck Colesto posted this on X. This is pretty interesting, to say the least. Chuck Colesto writes, cell phone data contradicts Willis' testimony on affair with Trump prosecutor Nathan Wade and when it began. It's developing. Chuck writes, quote, according to cell phone data presented in a court filing on Friday, Nathan Wade was recorded visiting the Hapeville area where Fannie Willis resided at least 35 times before the district attorney appointed him to oversee the election interference case in Fulton County. Quote, cell data seems to contradict Wade's testimony in which he said he visited Willis at her condo in Hapeville no more than 10 times before he was hired in November 2021. So now I think he gets to sit in front of a judge and they get to say, well, the judge might not say it. Maybe a lawyer might say it or something. So you said 10 times. Why do we have data showing 35 times? What else were you doing? What's going on? Why are you lying? What's happening here? Just exposing a bit of what could be some super corruption. Yeah, super corruption. I don't know, guys. I'm spitballing here. I don't have a script in front of me. Bear with me. Bear with me here. All right. Onward. All right. Let's see. We had Odysseus touch down on the moon. If you believe that the U.S. is capable of such things, people are skeptical. They're like, we never went to the moon. Why are you reporting these narratives? But this is the, I think, kind of widely accepted reality. But the imagery is like ridiculous. Anyway, Odysseus touched down on the moon, taking the U.S. back to the moon for the first time since 1972. This is what the Gateway Pundit wrote. They said back in February, they wrote about the departure of the craft. And now it's there. And it was, here's NASA's post. Your order was delivered to the moon. And that was something I was wondering about with these connections. This AT&T issue was happening just as this lander was going to the moon, and I am kind of like surprised that it wasn't affected by the solar radiation. Although they said the connection was a little bit weak. An interesting thing. How did they film it? So they don't even put pictures. There's the pictures that we have are like, I don't know. Let's see if we could find some. What do they call it? Odysseus. Let's see if we could find some Odysseus images. I saw one earlier this morning, and people are like, how can you have pictures from back in the day like this? And it's like a whole landscape. But then today it's like a really poor image. Let me see. So obviously you get people that are like, yeah, right. So here we go. Here's one of the images here, kind of from above space. Let me see if I could find more. Click here, media. And that's the picture going around. That's like the only thing they've released, as far as I know. What is this? I think NASA may have released this image as well, which is just of the lunar surface. I don't know, guys. They showed it landing and no one was in it. Right. I don't think this has people in it. It is just this, what do they call it? What do they call it? A lander. It's just a, what do they call it, guys? I don't know. But I guess we'll have more information, and they have scientific equipment and stuff on there and this kind of thing. Anyway, I don't know, guys. Am I muted? I should be okay, right? One moment. I need to check. I'm okay. Was I muted? Okay. Oh, you're saying how did they film it landing? Yeah, I don't know. But that has happened. First time since 1972, which just totally blows my mind. It's crazy to me. We have a little bit of world news to cover real quick, and then we'll move on here. We got Zelensky calling for delivery of air defense systems and fighter jets, and that story's developing. Zelensky has come out and stated that Ukraine will prepare for a new counteroffensive in 2024. Hopefully, all this fighting and war and loss of life from all these different skirmishes and wars can come to an end here. But that is the status with Ukraine. New York Times has reported that massive vulnerabilities emerge as China expands its hacking operation. And this isn't the first time we've heard this China hacking story. Chuck Colesto wrote about this. He says that recent disclosures have highlighted the significant expansion of China's cyber espionage activities. And he goes on and talks about different authoritative groups talking about this, the FBI, the U.S. government, the military, and these kinds of things. And, you know, of course, every country is probably expanding in this cyber arena, hacking operations and whatnot. I mean, including the U.S., every country, right? It's just something in the narrative that I wanted to point out. And onward, you've got Polish farmers announcing a blockade of the key German border crossing as the protests continue around the world, especially with the farmers in Europe, man. All right, I'm going to stop here. As always, there's always more. I have work to get to outside of the studio as usual, so I'm going to end this very soon here. I do want to say thank you to everybody on YouTube who's giving me support. I'm going to post a video announcing it officially later, but you can now join and support me on YouTube and get access to some perks. If you log in on a browser, you could see those things, and I'll post a video about it later. But I do appreciate that, all the support that I'm getting over there. This is just one of the like little things you get to put in the chat, as well as other perks as well. So if you click the join button on my channel name, if you log in on a browser to your YouTube account, you could support me there. It's $2.99 a month for that, and you get access to my private community over there. So thank you all who support me there. Thank you all who support me on DLive, Pilled, and on Rumble as well. You guys are tremendous. I appreciate you. Follow me on X as well. I'll post some of my personal stuff there, as well as breaking news, and post my videos on there as well. And that's a good place for you to contact me. That is a good place. I need to check my messages, apparently. It's also a good place where you can tag me in things that are breaking. And I appreciate that. We could start the conversation before I even go live over on x.com. There's my name right here. So follow me there. Please like, subscribe, follow, share my show with somebody who might like it, you know, and help me out here with getting the word out about what's going on and having these conversations about the news and events of the world. I appreciate that. Absolutely. So thank you, Quiet Toad, for the donation. I appreciate you very, very much. Good to see you. Oh, the video was muted, RMU said. I apologize, you guys. That's the beauty of these live broadcasts and me being the producer, the host, and everything else. Sometimes I have a little hiccup. I apologize for that. And Lisa says, thank you, Vince. Enjoy the day. Thank you. You enjoy the day as well. All of you, enjoy your day. Get ready for the weekend and enjoy it. With that said, everybody, take care. God bless and Godspeed.
We do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling.
'24 may be the year of a black swan event.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.